Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day in Minneapolis. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded inside the 5. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
When we spent our time talking to the coaches prior to the game, they emphasized that they wanted a quick start to begin things. Most of the time you think about that on the offensive side of the ball, but in this case, it's the special teams that provide that quick start.
Dak going to start out going to the air. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Larson. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. This defense for the Packers, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was popped free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Off the play fake, Prescott. And he rifles one incomplete. The Vikings at 500 and sitting at 5-5. They come in losers of 2 straight, so trying to turn things around here.
And you just mentioned 2 straight, and when you're talking about 2 games, that's nothing to panic about. They feel like they've been a little bit unlucky in the last couple. This is a club that's more than capable of turning things around, and I expect them to play really well here.
To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. That's caught left side by the tight end, Jordan. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Heck of a start for him here, Charles, on this opening drive, and they're doing it all through the air. That's 4 snaps and 4 passes so far. I
do think that there's an argument, Brandon, to maybe mix in a running play or 2, but the way that these offenses are constructed, you can get that done with swing passes and checkdowns. The way they're throwing it, I'd keep pressing it downfield.
And again, it's Prescott. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner, doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game. But sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect. So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it, and now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
From the 50, here's Fields. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. that sets up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, Herbert. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down in a few inches.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move him off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. Here's Fields on the sneak, and he is going to have a Packers first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they need. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. Knighton. And he gets it down to the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Daniil Hunter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. On 4th down, Don Maggio out to punt. Back deep, Jarvis Landry. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop right now.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And into the end zone, it's a pick-6 and a Packer touchdown. So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Back to it after the pick-6. Prescott. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Rashawn Gary coming in for that outside linebacker spot, and he buries him for a loss of 7. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Prescott now. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jordan. And way out past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
I like the boldness of that play call from the offensive coordinator because he wasn't daunted even by the double coverage he expected to draw to the tight end. The result, a huge gain and a major shot of confidence for everyone on the offense.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. That's into a crowd and intercepted. And the Packers will take over here just shy of the 30.
We don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope ball, his biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right?
Second and 9.
Brings up second and 9. At the 31-yard line.
To throw is Fields. He'll let this go deep for Bourne.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on third and 9.
Now Fields.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Daniil Hunter. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. On now is the Packers punter. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here first and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Thrown out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
It's now 3rd and 4.
Looking to throw. Prescott eluding the pressure right.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Angled for the sidelines.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep.
He'll be upended at the 18. That's a very helpful pickup of 9 after the play began at the 9.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
The Packers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. He's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Maggio sent on now to punt it away.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Now Landry. 1:54 left on the clock here in quarter number 2. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Prescott off play action. This ball complete. It's an out route to Thielen. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that'll bring up second down.
Here we go 46. Here we go 47.
Prescott now from the 50. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Campbell. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Prescott to throw it. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
That's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. The ball situated at the 9. 2nd and goal. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Jamar Chase. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And this is going to wind up a safety.
Well, partner, I'm just going to say this. Whoever did the scouting report for this game is going to get a raise because they got their number at every turn, and they just buried him for a safety with ease. When you earn 2 points and give up 0 for a half of football, there's not much left you can improve on, even though they'll try.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the 2nd quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And this time they'll just keep this on the ground. And he's going to have a 1st down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. On 1st and 10, it's Herbert. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
On 2nd down, a run with Herbert.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice game.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
And some room to maneuver.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
For most people, the excitement of the kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
Well, partner, I don't think it's any secret that any running back wants to be able to see a hole open so that he can gallop through it. But in this case, he had to slow down. There was really no hole there. And he took a big hit in order to get that 1 yard.
Here's a throw off the scramble, and that's complete out left. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 27 yards there, a first down. Now it's Fields off the bootleg. Toward the dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Back to throw, Fields. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Vikings force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Throwing, Prescott. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
Here's a give to Herbert. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Khalil Herbert with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 23.
Vikings nothing. Matthew Wright set to kick off.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Vikings now to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
47. Hey, kill.
Prescott on first down. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the third quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw pulled in by Jefferson.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Prescott yet again. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know what do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having fun. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6. Here's Fields. And this is going to be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
Darnell Savage there to make the tackle.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
On play action, Prescott. And now here is another interception. And the Packers will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But
there he goes, left side. Touchdown, Packers.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Finding space at the 40. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. That is caught by Thielen. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They'll run. It's Campbell. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal.
It's a loss of 1.
Now Prescott. And that one's going to be off target and in.
Picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Prescott on 3rd and goal. Steps away to his left. Brevin Jordan, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Prescott, they're going to throw for it. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
First down, Prescott. can't get away, and he's taken down. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Here's Prescott. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. On 1st and 10, Prescott. Open man is Jordan, the tight end. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Play action now, Prescott. And this is taken in at the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Vikings have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
Up the middle they go. Knighton. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Filled up, he picked.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A handoff for Herbert. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Well, in all likelihood, this ball game's still over. I mean, even with the interception, 2-score game, they need a miracle.
Curious decision to even throw the ball in that situation, but maybe they saw a stacked line of scrimmage and said, hey, it's better to try and throw than to try and run against it. In any event, I think you're exactly right. Now, the other team can pad their stats, but I don't think they're going to win.
Yeah, but still, don't change the channel just yet. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Oh, yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Prescott. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is, because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Packers, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers.
yards.